In the lawn care industry, success is driven by two equally important forces. Industry trends that shape the game, and the business owners who live it every day. These are their stories. You better strap your butt in. It's behind the stripe. The Stripe Podcast. Behind the Stripe Podcast.
All right, so we are back with another episode of Behind the Stripe. I am your host, Ken Morris, aka Stripe Life. This is my co-host,
Trevor Spencer, and we've got a good one for you guys today.
We've got a special guest today. This guy is changing the way you do business in the lawn care industry. Trevor, tell everybody who we got today.
We've got Stephen Werner. He is the founder of Lawn Buddy, and if you want a CRM that's going to take care of you, cutting your grass and all that, he's the guy you want to look to. So let's hear a little bit
Before
from
we
him.
get started, as always, I forget, thank you to Green Frog Web Design. If you're looking to get better clients, you're not trying to get those clients that make a post in a Facebook group and are looking for the cheapest cousin of their neighbors. You're looking for quality clients. Quality clients go online, they search Google reviews, they look at your website, they judge you before they meet you. You want a website, use Green Frog Web Design. Ezra and his team are the best. So thank
They
you
are.
for sponsoring this episode. And we are going to bring in Mr. Steven, aka Lawn Buddy, the OG. Sir, welcome to the episode.
What up, gangsters?
Man, it's good to see you, buddy.
Now tell us, what do you got hanging on the wall behind you? That looks a little interesting. It's a little intimidating. What do you got there?
Yeah, so in the very beginning of Lawn Buddy, I started an addiction to buying things at online auction. And that's how we outfitted the entire office. And then this came up at an estate sale. So this is a painting of the prayer before the Battle of the Valley of Forge. And so it's old George Washington,
Nice.
Mr.
Yes.
St. Keith himself.
Now, before we jump into the Lawn Buddy, Steven, you are a United States Marine. Tell us a quick thing about that. Thank you for your service. I had a bunch of
Yes,
buddies
thank
that
you.
joined the
Memorial Day
Marines,
coming
and
up.
at the time I was throwing 90 in baseball, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go that route. But man, I regret it. Like, all my buddies that are Marines, it's something that you carry for life, that
Yeah,
sense of pride. But tell the people about that. How was it?
brotherhood.
Yeah, so I enlisted in the Marine Corps right out of high school. So I knew, like, as a freshman in high school, actually, one of the main reasons why I picked the Marine Corps was they were the only ones that would talk to me as a freshman.
Nice.
And so really got to know about them. And obviously, the Dragon commercial got me, right? Slaying the Dragon.
Yes, I remember that one.
Dragon. And so, yeah, so spent most of my time between Camp Pendleton and Camp Lejeune. Did a nice vacation over to Afghanistan. It's balmy this time of the year, 10 out of 10. Recommended if that's your thing.
How was the food over there?
The food, so northern Afghanistan was good. It actually wasn't bad. Southern Afghanistan, I spent most of my time in the southern Helmand province. So there's a camp called Camp Dwyer that I was at pretty much the entire time down there.
Now, are you allowed to like date like women Marines? Are you not supposed to date anybody while you're over there?
So while you're deployed, no, it's a no-go. There's no dating,
no
there's
hanky-panky.
alcohol, there's nothing. Yeah. We just you still get in trouble. There's still, like, we had Russian dudes that would give us tattoos in the middle of the desert or
Nice.
sneak dudes in. Cuban cigars are cool, right? Because you're not in the United States, so you can get stuff that is off limits. And then pirated. I remember we watched the Iron Man. The first Iron Man came out, and it was in theaters. And somehow,
That's where he built the thing in the cave, right?
yeah, he built the thing in the cave. And
Mhm.
somehow, a dude with a donkey and a mobile bazaar, like a mobile, like, think of it as like a trading post, had a pirated version that was dubbed in Spanish but had English subtitles. The same time it was in theaters in the United States. So
Now tell us,
Score.
what
Thanks
is
for the dude on the donkey.
Afghanistan compared to, like, as far as like a state or somewhere that like a normal person has been to, like that weather? What does it compare to, like Texas, or what is it like over there?
no, there's the closest environment is in 29 Palms, California. So there's we call it 29 Stumps, but it's out kind of in the high desert in California. Actually, my home state of Wyoming, they do some training there for land navigation, just in like the high mountain desert. And
I've heard there's areas that are a lot like around here, pine trees, mountainous.
Yeah.
Is that
Yep. Northern
yeah.
Afghanistan. That's all up in there, but we were way down south, so all moon dust and desert. So
Well, we just
So
wanted to
did you
highlight
always know
your
you were gonna be a soldier? Did you always know? Is that something like from as a little kid that you wanted to you knew you were gonna be?
yeah, I always had a, a call to like sense of duty. For it's cliche, but it was just I felt called, and I knew it was kind of it would help me get to like a better stage in life, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I always knew that I wanted to serve, and then I settled in the Marine Corps, like I said, my freshman year in high school, and then I left home like a week and a half after I graduated. I was in boot camp, so.
well, I wanted to highlight your service, Steve, because I would say probably the biggest competitor, and that's only because of how much they spend on marketing, is probably Jobber. You hear Jobber, you see Jobber, everyone and their brother, the second they get a couple followers, they're a Jobber ambassador. Jobber's Canadian, and they're not an American Marine. So remember that when you're looking for a CRM. Do you want
Absolutely,
an
you guys.
American company? Do you want a badass Marine? Or do you want a Canadian? Sorry, Brandon. Think
Hey,
about
Brandon's
that,
with Lawn Buddy.
America first. So we wanted to highlight that. But let's get into it. How did Lawn Buddy come to life?
Yeah, so obviously from the little bit you heard about my background, wasn't a whole lot about like software development in there. So um I'll kind of fast forward. I was in the Marine Corps. I got out in 2013. I landed an amazing job, very blessed, had no business being in the job I was in as a capital project manager for a mine. Met my wife through that. She's an electrical engineer, so I met my wife, and she got a job offer out to Wichita, Kansas, which is where the company's headquartered when we live now. But when I moved out here, I couldn't find a job to save my life. So I was working armed security, doing firearms training, and then I decided, hey, I'm going to go to school and study entrepreneurship because it's something I've always wanted to do. And so through that, one of the things I didn't say is my father's owned a snow removal company in Wyoming for pretty much my entire life. And so I know the trades. I know what it's like to get out and push snow. I know, Ken, you haven't done that yet, but the white gold is calling your name.
We were talking about it today.
And so so anyways, I knew about the trades. And so when I'm here in Wichita, I'm recently married, going to school full time, working full time, and I was working with landscapers to come out and help me with the property. And I just saw that they had no adequate tools to help them manage their business. A frustration as a homeowner, right? For being on that other side of the fence is no one ever showed up on time and no one answered their phone. And so you just burn through landscapers constantly. And it wasn't until I started working with them that I realized like, hey, the reason why you're not answering the phone is because your guy's called in sick again. And you're on the mower out in the field
Yeah.
and you can't feel your phone ring. And then the reason why you're always late is because me as a homeowner, I don't care that it rained last week, but now you have a full day's worth of rain delays that you're trying to catch up on. And so as I started working more and more with landscapers, that's where the idea of Lawn Buddy was born of like, hey, we could probably make some tools that would really take a lot of this stuff off your plate. And then just started growing it from there. And I took it a step further too. And for the first year and a half, I worked in the field with 3
I
different lawn care
remember when
companies.
you told me that, I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's
Now,
cool.
I
Love to
will
hear that.
say, after leaving the East Coast for the West Coast, Maryland for Montana, everything that's cutting outside of Montana is total bullshit. Okay. Like, there's nothing like cutting in Montana in April that I've ever seen in my life. And I've spent countless hours talking to people and so, yeah, everything other than cutting in Montana doesn't count to me. But I thought that was really cool what people need. And that's what I tell Trevor all the time. I talk to these marketing people with mowers or with anything. And I'm like, look, have you ever cut before? Because
Yeah.
how can you
Do you
sell
understand our world?
that you don't know? You don't understand it. And so many of these companies hire these people. Hell, they hire people to run the entire marketing and they have never cut before, not even their own yard, let alone ran a team, ran a business, weekend warrior, anything. And it's like, I just don't get how these companies hire people that have no real world experience in what they're selling, and
Yeah.
blows my mind. So I thought that was super cool. Now tell us, you started Lawn Buddy and then instantly made like $10 million a year, right? That was pretty easy
No,
there.
no, no, not at all. So Lawn Buddy actually turns 10 years old this coming Monday.
Yeah, we were
Happy
just talking
birthday,
about that
Lawn
in the
Buddy.
video.
Yep. So on Memorial Day. And so It was a lot of work, right? So when I first started, I remember
Overnight
there's a
success.
saying called Midwest Nice. So Midwest Nice is like when you go out and you're like, "Hey, I'm building this tool. Would you use it?" When you're asking we call it customer validation, right? When you're going out and you're asking customers if they would use a product that you built, everyone says yes, but then when it's built, no one
Right.
was actually willing to do it. And so I remember my neighbor directly across the street from me, his name's Chad Butler. He was mowing part time, and I convinced him to just go all in and use our software. And so that's really our first customer that we got, and then it kind of slowly grew from there. But I mean, we went from that first year, I think we had like 12 lawn landscape companies that were using it to where like today we have 60,000 companies that have created a Lawn
Mhm.
Buddy account throughout the
Wow.
entire. Um,
Now, who would
once you
you
Congratulations.
say is your actual biggest competitor? Is it Jobber or is it,
Jobber, 100%. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we run up against Jobber every day. They play dirty pool, so there's some tactics that we had to combat early on of like them taking out. I think they spelled it lawnbuddies.com, but it made it look like our website. And when you went there, it was basically just
you hear that,
Jobber.
Brandon? You fucking Canadians, like,
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, but you know what? That means you're doing something right. If they're
yeah,
worried about you and they're messing with you, then
they're
you're doing
massive.
something
So if
right.
they're that big and bringing in
Yep.
that much revenue, and they're scared of you, but that's Canada. They're not real fighters. They just
Yeah, and the other thing too is that like they don't focus specifically on the lawn and landscape industry. They'll make tools for the rest of the trades and then brand them to the lawn and landscape industry. And
We Yeah, we have a big Jobber ambassador down here in Florence, and he's got a huge following on Instagram. We met him at the expo this year, and he's an electrician. And it's like, so I mean, there's a great example of their focus is not lawn and landscape like you guys are. They're
and you
branching
hear
out
if you're
everywhere.
listening to this, a lot of people you'll hear, and there's some people that will talk about Yard Book all the time, and they act like Yard Book's not paying them. If you hear a guy talking about Yard Book often, Yard Book's paying them. They're just not announcing it. They're secretly basically doing illegals. Oh yeah, Yard Book, they're paying him, right? So the thing you hear with Yard Book is free. Yard Book has a base version that is free. That's correct. But guess what? Lawn Buddy has a base free version as well. And the big thing with Lawn Buddy is that their pro versions and their paid versions are cheaper than Jobber, but yet specified and specifically made for lawn and landscape. So they basically touch everything. So when I first talked with Steven, do you have a free version? Yes. Bam, there goes Yard Book. Do you have better prices than Jobber on your paid versions? Yes. Are you a Marine and could whoop Canadians' ass? Yes. All right. Hey, we're on board. So
yeah,
a lot of cool things you got there.
yeah, and for like some of the other competitors in the field, like Yard Book and stuff, like nothing's ever truly free, right? If you have a full free version, they're making money somehow, and that's just off of consumer data. And the other thing too is that they're not going through the proper steps to publish their apps to the app stores. So they publish through test flight. It's a known loophole to where if you really do your digging, you can find that that is not an American-owned company. It is owned
Yard
by
Book is not
Chinese.
American.
It's owned by a Chinese venture capital.
Wow, are you listening? But you heard
Oh,
it right here. Yard Book is Chinese. Not that there's anything
okay.
wrong with our Chinese listeners. I love, Chinese food. Half my bulk is from younger years of Chinese food. But yeah, so really, if you think about
I
it,
had some General Chicken today.
I know I told him to bring some over. Is it safe to say, Mr. Steven, that Lawn Buddy is the biggest and the best American CRM for lawn care?
100%. Yeah,
I
we
mean,
are the only true US made, veteran owned
we
software.
need we need shirts made that put this like the only American made CRM out there, because that I like that.
Yeah.
And like with Trevor, we were talking before we jumped on here about Montana Knife Co. We cut their account. We have some of their knives. Trevor loves this place. The guy's history is pretty cool, but his big thing is America, America, pro America, American made. And then I even told Trevor they started making shirts and stuff. And I mean like shirts, hoodies, jackets. And I told Trevor, I said, man, this just doesn't feel right. This guy's so pro America. He's making all this Chinese shit. And then boom, we have a new American line of clothes. I was like, damn, he's
Yeah,
good.
they did it.
And like they are doing that. So I think that
We need
that's
to get back to that
really
too.
cool.
We
So
need to
not
get back to
only
American
does
manufacturing.
Lawn Buddy
Mhm.
have a free version, better price pro versions, more specifically detailed towards our industry, but they're American,
And
so
that's,
that's
that's pretty
huge.
cool with Stripe Life. We are an American CRM supporter and user. Our Ferris are American made, Vanguard American made. The knives in our pockets are American made.
Yeah.
I want to get to where
Phoenix, a
everything,
little Chinese, but a lot of American people work
hopefully we can get to where we can just be
embroidered in
straight
America.
American.
That's where a lot
So
of them get, and
Well, I
that's
mean,
even with
all the handheld companies, Echo, Steel, like everything's basically not American. All the batteries are Chinese, so you
we'll
know.
take as much as we can get, and just if we have some crumbs left over, that's okay.
Now, Steve, when you started this, did you think you would hit your 10-year mark? Did you think this would be your job for the next 10 years?
I had no idea. I mean, when you boil it down and you look at the stats, right? One in five companies, their first year and a half to 2 years will survive the startup
Yeah.
phase. People quit, and then when you move to 5 years, it's even less. And so I fully knew that there was like a pretty decent chance that it didn't work. But I just leaned in on faith and not willing to quit. And I think that's ultimately what got us to where we are. Is like I was just too stubborn to quit because there's plenty of days I wanted to. I mean,
Yeah, we all have those.
speaking of faith, Steven was the big push to get me and Trevor to that what do they call it? Like the Christian, I just call it the Christian breakfast at the Equip Expo.
yeah, it's
Man, that was so
prayer
cool.
breakfast at a
We had the
Michael
worst ride ever,
Singletary, man.
like the giveaway truck on the trailer got all scratched up. We had 14 hours in the truck together, absolutely exhausted. And I was like, man, like Steven wants us to go to this prayer breakfast. And I was like, I'm like exhausted, man. But like,
What did
I was
I
like,
was like, we better go to this, buddy.
I was like, Steven helped us so much with help sponsoring the truck, and we got these bottle opener spinners that were awesome. I was like, we owe this guy. Plus, we could use a little bit of better luck.
Well,
And
and yeah, I think God gave us a couple mulligans on that trip.
that was actually great. And not only, even if you're not a Christian, even if you're not religious, you should go to this thing because they have motivational speakers and they have
It
all
was
these special
powerful.
guests, and it gets you right. And again, even if you're not, if you're on the fence,
Good way to put it.
go to it because man, it just like really gets your mind right for that whole expo. And the whole thing about the expo is you walk around, you see everybody with the name tag. Hey, Trevor. Hey, Steven. And it's supposed to bring people together, but that is definitely something I highly recommend. We're looking to go that year. I think we're the guests. Aren't we like the main speaker at that this year, Trevor? I
That's
think.
you, not me.
Yeah, I think
Not
we
me.
got.
I'm
Not
actually
getting up
pulling
there.
up to see if it's publicly released yet, but you're not gonna want to miss.
Well, I saw there was pamphlets on the table for the guest speaker for the following year,
That Brian's
if I remember right.
well, I can say it because it's published. So, you want to take a guess?
Is it Willie?
Yeah. Yep. So
Yeah.
Willie from
the
Dynasty.
Duck
Willie
Dynasty.
Robbins.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, Willie. And that'll be very cool.
Mhm.
So what is y'all's relationship with him? How do you get these, like with Michael Singletary? Are these just people that you reach out to and say, "Hey, can you give us some motivation? Give us a little talk." How do you guys?
So I'm not on their board, but I know the founder so very well. He's actually here in Wichita. His name's Craig Daniels. And so essentially what Craig does is they have a committee and a board, and they'll look at like, hey, who are some faith-based speakers that we can bring in to really speak life into these guys and gals before the show starts. And every year that gets bigger and bigger, right? You have more attendees, that means you get more donors. And
How do
so
you get to be a speaker?
so to be a speaker, you have to be like involved. So like you volunteer, right? So if you say, "Hey, I want to be involved," you just step up and you start going to committee meetings. And if you wanted to open up the prayer, like I know Spencer opened up the prayer last year, they had some people give their testimony. So it's really just getting involved with them. And they've got their contact information on their website, but I can give you guys their contact information as well.
Yeah, I just want to come and sit and have breakfast with you guys again and be a part of that. That was cool.
We had a great expo last year, and we had a 5.0 Ranger we gave away 100% free, no entry fee, no bullshit, no 1099. And it was really cool how cool Cenex was. They let us take that whole corner over. They let Lawn Buddy put up this like 7 foot tall thing. Like they really just let us truly take over this $150,000+ booth. And this year, Steve, we're probably gonna do, I'm shooting for a Polaris Ranger 500 brand new. And then also like a retro dirt bike. Now we might do the retro dirt bike as like a secondary prize. So like all the Yetis, this badass customized dirt bike that looks like an Evil Knievel dirt bike with a
Yeah,
metal
it's
tank.
cool.
And then the Ranger, or we might put the thing in the back of the Ranger. I don't know.
Yeah. And a little bit of good news for you guys as well. Not only are we going to continue to support those giveaways, but last year we gave away a full mower setup, right? So we gave away the stuff with you. We gave away a stand on, a trailer, trimmer racks, trimmers, blowers, the whole setup. It's back, baby, and it's bigger.
Now, the
Nice.
thing that
Bigger.
people really want and what people go crazy for the most at this place is hats. You gave away what, thousands of hats. What do we got to do to get like Lawn Buddy and Stripe Life hats together this year? Because I think that would go over really well.
Yeah, Stripe Life Montana logo over here would look really
Yeah,
good.
wasn't that? So the hats are 100% doable. That was by far, and it's funny. So our my staff, they were like, I don't think anyone's gonna want these hats. And I was like, this is old school Bush Life.
They don't
Like this
even
is
look at
Bush
the hats
Light.
though,
Yeah.
but your hats they really liked. But those bottle
I saw
opener
more of
fingers
these
they did
hats
were cool.
around the expo day 2, day 3 than any other hat.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because they stand out more, but I saw these more than any other. So
Now,
yeah,
how many
very good
years
job
have
with
you
these.
been going to the
Whose
expo?
idea were those? Was
It
this
was
you?
mine. Yep.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, because this has Steven written all over it.
Yeah,
I see
and
that.
to take it a step further, when you guys were talking about supporting folks, the company that made that's based out of California. It's a Navy SEAL who started a 3PL
Yes.
company, and so those were all made by Americans in
Now, we
California,
don't
and then
usually count California as
That's
American, but
awesome. I
since
love
he's
this
a
hat.
Navy SEAL, we'll let it
yeah,
slide.
yeah, he did all our shirts too. So if you remember the Bury the Competition shirts that I had everyone go around and take pictures with for the free year, those are all
Yeah.
made by his company.
I don't
So
know how I didn't leave with one of those.
I don't
That
know how I
was
didn't get a hat. Like,
I didn't even get a hat.
I
They're
got a hat. I left
literally
with I
paid
made
for
it
it
out with a
on
hat.
my head.
I
Yeah.
was shocked that I didn't get a hat at all. Now, let's get back to Lawn Buddy, I guess, real quick. So, Lawn Buddy, what I like about Lawn Buddy is you're on both app platforms, right? So, if you're Apple or if you're one of the weirdos that has Android, they can get you on both ways, right?
Yeah. Yep. We've got both. It runs on tablets. If you close your eyes and pretend to use your phone, it'll still work. So
What
you
I
name it.
like is that so we've been cutting for almost 2 months straight, okay? Which I will compare it to, I wasn't in Marine boot camp, but I would consider this pretty close, you know? But I don't know anything. I don't know, I miss being home and knowing where every street is, every road is. So the cool thing about Lawn Buddy is it will route optimize for you, and then it will have a quick launch right to like the Google Maps that tell you how to get there direction wise. So if you got a brand new guy that just came coast to coast, hey, you put him in the truck, put your phone up there, and boom, this you go to yard 1. I don't know how to get there. It will tell you to get there, and it optimizes your route, and it's pretty cool. It gives you a check sheet. Are you completed? Yes. And it's very easy, especially trying to grow a company. You can just give that phone, give that app to the guy, and he can go knock out 20 yards for you, and it's pretty cool.
And they can clock in and out too at the beginning and the end of the day. So that's nice. We were dealing with just write up time cards before that. And it correct me if I'm wrong, real time road construction and traffic and stuff like that too, right? So I mean, if you're rolling down the road and you click you're going to your next job, it will tell you, hey, there's a blockage here on this highway. You might want to reroute and go around to save you some time.
Yeah, it'll give you a suggestion to the optimize button. When you see it there, it'll pop
That's
up.
pretty rad.
Optimize. It'll reroute your entire thing based off of construction, a blockage, or if there's
Now, Stephen, we like to
Cool.
ask all of our guests, okay, the questions that people really care about, really want to know. So, question 1, what's your thoughts on Bigfoot?
it's
Do you
a
think he's
really good.
do you think he's real? Do you think he's interdimensional with portholes out there? What do you think?
So growing up in Wyoming, right, and now that you're introduced to this thing called public land,
Yeah, scary.
yeah, so there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of acres in the United States alone, let alone North America. And I mean, we're finding cougars coming back into Kansas that have never been inside Kansas for decades, and so to think that um, a very large primate is strolling around North America is not off the table. It's not out of the question.
It's not
Now, do
crazy,
you
right?
think he's just kind of like gorilla like, or do you think he's like half human like, or do you think he's like a fallen angel that survived Noah's, ark wrath, the flood?
I'm on the Nephilim train
I
is
think
where
he's
I'm at
like
this
half
point.
fallen angel, and
Yeah.
that's why people don't, find one or
Now
see one.
you being who you are, Stephen, I mean, you've read the Book of Enoch, correct? I
Yep.
mean, have you
Yep.
dug into there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
So I
mean,
mean,
that's after reading through that, it was like kind
And
of
what
shifted
Trevor
my
is
view on a
saying is
lot of things.
basically there. So Trevor and them made me read the book of, or the audio, the podcast and stuff that explained it. So for people that don't know, the book of Enoch talks about God sent these angels down, and the angels were basically having sex and babies with humans. So they were creating this like freakish mixed breed of like giants and half angel, half humans. And then God, that's why the big flood with Noah, he wanted to wipe these bad angels out. So it's pretty.
Stephen didn't know he was going to get into
Yeah,
the Book of
you
Enoch
you
on
can
this
definitely put it
podcast.
together and be like, hold on. So these half giants, half angel, which you would have the power to maybe open a portal to heaven or wherever else. So that's what I think after listening to 2 months of podcasting. I think it's like a mixed breed of humans and something else.
yeah. I mean, if we stick to like biblical references, right? Like it's very clear that did happen. And if you
Yeah.
look even back at King David, right, when the classic story of Goliath, right? Goliath was a mountain of a man. Now, it never draws a direct correlation between him and the fallen, but there are other kind of crumbs that you can find throughout, like when they talked about mighty men from the Nephilim that were still left
Mhm.
over. And so, yeah, I mean, I mean, you even have archaeological digs finding massive, um, even if we want to go just straight on the science side, right? We have evidence of massive, ape-like, not ape-like, ape creatures that were like Bigfoot.
Yeah,
I
Um,
think it's funny.
Gigantopithecus.
I think it's funny how
Mhm.
people will, be a Christian and they'll follow the Bible and they're like, oh, Adam and Eve and this and that and they're like, yeah, that's real, that's real, that's real. And then like the Book of Enoch, they're like, oh yeah, we're not talking about that. Like, there's no such thing as half angel giants, and it's like you can't just pick and choose what you don't want to believe. And to get into it a little bit deeper for our listeners, Trevor got me watching this. What's that shit called where the people go missing? Missing
Missing
411.
411.
So missing
You
411.
into that at all, Stephen? You watch that?
No, but
People go
I'm
into the
assuming
woods.
it's very similar to blood
They
trails
go
on
into
like,
the woods with a couple people at dusk, and then they start walking, and boom, there's no trace. The dogs can't pick them up. They don't find their gun. They don't find their clothes. They never find them again. So it's like, how? And
A
some of
lot of
these people
national
are like
parks.
Army Rangers and
Yeah.
avid hunters. How do you disappear?
Yeah, yeah, is it David Pulaski? Pulaski? He's the most recent guest on Rogan, and
yeah,
he's
I
the
just
one that
listened to that
yeah,
on the
and he's
Rogan
the one that
Colorado.
does all the missing 411s with very interesting and really out there stuff. You never know what to believe, but there is something taking people out
Yeah.
there
And
and
then
people are disappearing.
let's do the
So
the second question we like to ask all our guests, Stephen. What's your thoughts on aliens?
I think that the universe and creation is so vast that again, like it would be naive to think we're the only one. I
Don't you
mean,
think
if
it's
you
weird
even
that
want
the
to go back and talk
government's
about the scripture, it talks about creating a new world.
like the government's leaking stuff now? It's like, oh yeah, hey guys, here's some files. Take a look at them. We found a couple things. It's like
But yeah,
pretty crazy.
they even did another release today. So, um, yeah,
And
there's
they
there's
yeah, they
released a
keep
evidence
doing
couple
them.
that
pictures
Fox,
of like UFOs, right?
did you guys see
do what?
the Fox report on the 5 different species or whatever, 4 different the grays, the whites, the insects and the lizards?
Mm,
So there's some that look like uh lizards, there's some that are like look like us, like they're like Nordics and are like tall and handsome and white, and then they have some that look like praying mantises, I guess, and maybe some that look like tall hairy ape men, but I don't know. But this was straight up on Fox News day before yesterday, a whole report talking about it and discussing these different species or types of extraterrestrials. So pretty wild. what is going on in this world, Steven?
All I
No
listen
one
to
knows.
is Joe Rogan podcasts and watch a lot of weird stuff. I've been out here for almost 90 days alone, and it starts getting to you, but
So,
it's
uh,
easy.
to get back to everything. So, I mean, if somebody's on the fence right now and they're wanting to get into a CRM and they're not sure who or why, what would you tell somebody? What is your push over the cliff to get them on with Lawn Buddy right now?
Yeah. So, actually, the big thing that I always say to people, especially if they're on the fence, maybe they're using a CRM or they're not using a CRM, is human nature is procrastination, right? So we want to
Hmm.
put things off.
I'm
We
good
have
at
the
it.
best of intentions. Like we know we need to do it, right? We know we need to take care of our business. I mean, it's also why most gyms are so busy in January, February, March, and then it just nosedives, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we're able to find an excuse not to take care of it. And so what I always tell people is do the work now, put in the work, and I promise you, you'll have more time with your family. You'll have more time to run a better business and focus on the metrics that matter. And at the end of the day, too, Lawn Buddy is here to help. Like we have real people based in the United States that help you every step of the way, and
I
we're
can vouch for
competitively
that.
priced. Yeah. And I mean, I even still talk to people every single day.
Hmm.
If there's an
You
issue,
told me you told me the other day that you take time with your morning coffee and you call every new sign up in the mornings. Is that
yep,
true?
I'll
You're
I'll
still doing that?
I'll take my morning coffee and then I'll try to get through as many as I can before morning meetings start.
That's
So,
pretty phenomenal, man. That's
Now,
pretty
Lawn
cool.
Buddy also gives you the ability to bill your clients, and
mhm.
you use Global with that. Now, is Global bigger than Stripe? Because a lot of people hear Stripe, you hear Global. Are they both basically about the same, or which one's bigger and better in that payment processing kind of
Yeah,
way?
so they're astronomically different. So Global is the world's largest payment processor, like
Nice.
period. And Stripe is the most convenient payment processor, right? So it's easy to create a Stripe account. We worked with Global to make it even easier to create an account with them. But the reason why we work with both. You can have if you have Stripe, you can connect your Stripe account to Lawn Buddy,
Nice.
but we'll always try to push them over the edge to go to global because they have customer support. And I know a lot of people. It's funny. It's a double edged sword, right? Because as soon as you start integrating with payments, if something goes wrong, then it's a very emotional response, right? Like you need your money, and I understand that you
Yeah.
need your money. Um, with Stripe, you can't talk to anyone. You have to email in to support. Once the
No.
support ticket's had, you maybe can go back and forth via email. With Global, you can call and talk to someone same day. What we found and what we're working on with them though is like Global's a massive company. There's like 20,000 sales reps that can answer the phone or support reps that can answer the phone to help you. I can't expect all 20,000 of them to be super versed on Lawn Buddy. And so sometimes they make mistakes and people will get very frustrated because they make a mistake. But my pushback is like, at least they answered the phone and I was able to get you a solution way faster than waiting 2 weeks with Stripe. We're always working to make it
Yeah.
but when you look at the feature sets that Global's able to offer, delay pay, so like customer financing. So if you wanted to upsell your client and say, hey, you're actually pre-qualified for XYZ, you can give them embedded financing and you get paid for full upfront. Stripe doesn't do
Nice.
that.
I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool. If we get into these bigger landscaping jobs, we got to beat on getting a mini excavator, which is going to help us really branch out. So that's
Mhm.
something that, hey, 3, 4, $5,000 job, we could pitch that to somebody. Back in the pawn industry, we had this company called a SEMA where somebody would come in, look at a $2,000 chain and be like, I can't get it, or want to hold up on layaway for a year. It's like you could leave for $25 with that chain on, and it was like super easy little financing. So that's a pretty cool push. I didn't even know we could do that.
Yeah. And so all of that is offered through Global. And like we have so much more tools in our toolbox from Lawn Buddy to develop more tools. So for instance, right now on any platform, if you have like a big issue, you have to go through the payment provider's portal to find out what's going on. The nice thing with the partnership we have with Global is here in the very near future, it's a one-stop shop in LawnBuddy. So if you
Nice.
have an issue, you don't have to go log into another portal to try to take an action because we're a preferred partner of theirs. And so we have a lot of tools and flexibility. to build things natively inside of Lawn Buddy instead of having you to like, "Ah, you
What,
gotta."
what I like as well is that in your different plans, even in your free plan, it gives you the ability to sign up and take payments with Global. Some of the other companies, there's so many smaller companies and different companies that pop up, they won't let you have that option unless you have their paid version. So it definitely is pretty cool that you guys are so versatile with all of your different plans because, there's some guys out there that can't afford to get the plan out of the gate or they don't trust it, they don't think it's going to do it. And then they get to see, hey, I think these other higher versions, even $30, $35, whatever these different plans are, you get to see the value in them pretty quick after using the free version. But even being able to start the free version, but pay, the rate to be able to take payments is pretty cool and definitely something that I like that you guys offer.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
handy for sure. And back to what you were saying about just give it a try and see how much time it's going to save you. I mean, man, you talk to my wife a lot, and she is so grateful that we have Lawn Buddy anymore. We were doing it just pencil and paper before this year, and bringing on Lawn Buddy has just made it. I mean, I say it in our reels, I'll say it to people, but I mean, it's true. It is like giving us so much more time and stress off of our shoulders. So I mean, it's worth every bit
Especially
that you put
now,
in.
like, it's one thing to be solo and you're 10 yards that day or you're 15 yards that day. Some days we're doing 40 yards. Like who's gonna you can't when you get to that point, you
Yeah,
can't pen and paper 40
absolutely.
yards a add a different oh, this guy doesn't want it. And that's gonna be our
It's
next
so
video
much to keep up with.
we're working on. It's so much easier putting it all and then you just do it once. Hey, you set it up once, you got your routes and you're done.
Yeah. And I think
Mhm.
so two points there when you're talking about the free version compared to paid plans. One of the things I try to educate customers on all the time as well is like when you look at your business and where the expenses go and where you can get a good return, right? Good return on your investment. Um, when you guys fuel up in the morning, do you cut it with water? Yeah.
Right, no.
Just to, or when you're getting ready and you're stringing up your string trimmer, do you just say screw it and put zip ties on it? Because zip ties are
Yeah,
cheap.
no.
Use the
No.
best
So
thing.
so why would you do that with your business? The thing that you're gonna make money on. Free versions are great, this is why we have one, like, we want you to have tools, to do it, but I can't give you everything for free because there's
Yeah.
costs associated with it, but I can promise you it's gonna make dividends in returns to your business.
Absolutely.
So, when people look at things for free, like, I get it. Like, I 100% get where you're coming from, but if you're going to try to run a legitimate long lasting company, at some point in time, you're going to have to stop pinching pennies when it comes to your equipment. And I won't even talk about Lawn Buddy. Like if you bought a mower with a gazillion hours on it, and you're just like plugging tires every other
Yeah.
day,
I mean,
I
that's how we are. We make fun of clients that are like, "Oh, can you cut it shorter? Oh, can we do it every other week? Can you cut it every 10th day?" Then we're walking around with $400 pocket knives and $15,000 mowers, and the same guys that have these $400 pocket knives and $15,000 mowers won't pay $35 a month or $50 a month to make their life 10 hours easier every month or to give their customers the ability to use a credit card or to do route optimization and have everything off of a pen and paper. So nowadays, it's like you could have the pro version of Lawn Buddy cheaper than 2 trips to Subway a month. Like it's getting pretty crazy out there, you know? So
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
yeah, and one of the things that makes us unique too, and this isn't just like a massive Lawn Buddy ad, but when we work with folks, like when we work with you or even our customers, right? And they're like, "Hey, I want to make a video for you," and they say, "What do you want it to be?" And you guys could probably test this. I say, "I want you to genuinely tell people
yeah.
like how it works. Like that's
That's the
it.
Mhm.
thing
I'm
with
not gonna."
jobber people, you just hear, "Hey, I'm a jobber ambassador, check them out." It's like
Use my name, get 20% off a sign up.
there's no real content. There's no, "Hey, what does it really do? How do they compare to everyone else?" That's why I never knew Yard Book was Chinese, so I thought that's pretty crazy, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, and with that being said, anybody that's listening that's watched any of our reels, I mean, I am 100% when I'm talking about Lawn Buddy or any of the products that we promote. That's one of the things when I came onto Stripe Life that Ken told me is we don't promote things that we don't like. We promote the best or the best value, and
And
that's the bottom
Trevor's
line.
seeing it now, like, we're slowly building up Trevor's Instagram. What are you pushing 4,000 right now?
Yeah, 3,500.
And after we do we're about to do our big spring
But
giveaway.
that is 3,500 real
Yeah, no
real
bullshit
followers. I have not
bots.
bought.
We're gonna have a big push, so you'll get extra entries to go to Lawn Buddy's site and Lawn Buddy's Instagram, and extra entries to go to Trevor's Instagram. So we'll probably get that up to 5,000 at least by the time this giveaway starts in a few days. Really, is June 1st is when we're gonna start this thing. But Trevor's getting instant messages all the time on Instagram. Hey, we want you to do a video. Hey, we want you to do this. Hey, we want you to do that. And the other day somebody wanted to pay me $300 to put a Bitcoin mining thing in my story, and I was like, "Fuck off, man! Like I don't care." And then I think he went up to 500. I was like, "Look, I'm not for sale." Then if he comes back a little bit higher, we might be mining some Bitcoin here. But I was like, we don't sell out. We don't do fake shit here, and that's the same thing I told to Brandon. And like I've given back 2 electric zero turns because they sucked. And every time I made a video, I was a Joe Biden loving Democrat, and I was like, "Look, one thing if these things are the future," and they were amazing, but they are not. And I don't think many lawn care content creators would give back $80,000 in mowers, just to make a couple videos. And I was like, I'm not doing it,
Yeah,
so
well, and on top of all that too, like I'm an old school country guy. I grew up small town Montana, and people are what's important to me. When you meet Steven, when you meet these people that are involved with Lawn Buddy, you understand like where the success comes from, and that's the big part. It's much like when I met Chad with Ferris. It's like these are people that I can stand behind, and I know are going to stand behind us as well. So that's a big part of
yeah.
it for me too. So what
Yeah,
else? I mean, is there anything new
Steve,
popping up with
I don't
Lawn
think
Buddy that we can look forward to?
I don't think you're going pro America enough, Steven. I think you need badass Richardson camo, desert camo hats. I think you need to pro America this up even more, because we're in a
I'm
time
okay
and
with
age.
that.
We're in a time and age where people will really get behind that even more. That's all Montana Knife Co does. So I think more people need to know, hey, you want the Canadians, you want the Chinese, or you want the American made CRM Lawn Buddy,
If you need us to make a good, nice commercial, we'll be fully kitted out on the mowers. I mean, we can work something out here.
Hey, let freedom ring. Go
I
plant some
think
freedom
that
seeds
Lawn
for
Buddy
you.
needs to switch from that blue and green, which I like, which is the colors of our logo, into like red, white, and blue, and throw a couple
Say it's our
stars on it,
colors.
Yeah.
I think that,
Well, hey, we've got some fun stuff coming for obviously we've got Memorial Day posts, stuff like that we're
I'll tell you what, if you send us 3 George Washington wigs, we'll start making some pretty cool American content, because me, Trevor, and Steve could go out there and be like, "Hello, if we only had something that would help us do this better." And
Stay tuned for
try to find us
Lawn Buddy commercials
some
with
George
us in
Washington
wigs.
wigs. We'll put those on under like our Lawn Buddy hats and
It's gonna get hot. It's gonna get hot.
It'll be pretty funny.
just wait till it snows in the end of June, and then you can do it. So then it won't be as hot.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Exactly.
just know, make sure our listeners, try out Lawn Buddy, check them out. In a few days, we're gonna launch our 4th annual mower giveaway. We're giving away a $10,000 Ferris mower, all sorts of other stuff. Somebody will
Yeah.
win 1 year of the pro version of Lawn Buddy completely for free. There's a lot of cool
Thanks
giveaways
for that,
and
guys.
stuff going on that we will slowly start figuring out what we're going to do for the expo. We're either going to do the spinners or stickers or hats or something. So we're going to have tons of cool Lawn Buddy merch and stuff with us in that Cenex booth again this year. But Steve, hit somebody right now. If they're on the fence, they saw one of our Lawn Buddy pitches or one of your ads, why should they do it? Like, just a quick rundown. Why should they do it?
Yeah, pound for pound, we have, my biased opinion, better software than anyone in the industry, because it's made for this industry, period. We build it for hardworking Americans. We build it for big, fat, sweaty thumbs, because I know what it's like for you to be on your mower all day while you're in the field. Further than that, I mean, we support things that you care about. I'm on the board, Be on the Call, which is the firefighters mental health and wellness, and just making sure that they have the resources they need. And so we walk the walk. We don't just talk the talk. Like,
weren't you out building schools recently too? Like somewhere down.
Yeah, we so another one that I work with is called Fidelis Outreach. It's a gal I was in the Marine Corps with, where we go to like third world countries essentially, and we help kids. And so we were just down in
That's awesome. Let's
Ecuador,
go.
in an orphanage. And ironically, down there I got wrapped up with their maintenance guy. Because if you want to talk about people like making things work, he had a mower that was about 20 years old, that he was running on a hope and a dream. So just getting to work with him and whatnot. And so that's what I'd say is not only do we have pound for pound the best software in the industry, we have the support that's behind it. And we care about the things that you care about, because at the end of the day, we love this industry and we love this country just as much as you do.
Well, and you know, you guys, just to back that up, just today, just a couple hours ago, I had a guy who we got signed up with on Lawn Buddy. He messaged me and said he was having some problems, and I reached out to Steven, and Steven said, send it, have him text me, give him my number. And the guy was like, wait, what? What? Text? I'm like, dude, text Steven. He will take care of you. So, I mean, they've got your back, man. Sign up for these guys. And the other thing I was going to discuss too is we've got a new intro for Behind the Stripe that we've been rocking. Now,
you also have an official Mountain Made song.
And we have not dropped that yet.
An official profile photo on my Facebook too.
Yeah, we've been getting a whole lot more than just CRM help from Lawn Buddy lately.
Yeah, Steven made our new intro that at first I'll admit I thought was a little aggressive, but now I kind of like it. I listened. It's weird. Trevor forced me to listen to our own podcast the other day, and I was like, you know what? Like, we're pretty damn good, man.
Pretty good.
That one with Brandon was pretty damn good. And when I listened to the intro, I think we were like 15 yards deep, where I'm already like F this job, and I was like, oh wow, hey, this kind of got me a little excited. It brought me back a little bit. This was nice.
I might have saw him dancing out there on the mower too.
Oh yeah.
Well, I told
him.
So
yeah, we're gonna drop that Mountain Made song too.
I listened to our podcast, and then I listened to another lawn care podcast. I won't say who it is, but I was like, man, like either they suck or ours is really good, because just a lot better flow and energy, and some of these times you go on and people don't talk enough, and my dad says I talk too much, so it's like, what can you
I say that too.
Yeah
Leave it in the comments. Let us know what else you guys want, what else you need, and what do you think of that intro. And I apologize for my eye today, guys. When Ken said it is a war zone, it is really a war zone. I got smacked with a rock.
I would love to I'd love to see more videos of you, Steven, because I've been in sales my whole life. Marketing is just something I've always done on the side, but people buy from who they like. And as a Marine, as a Christian, as a great just man in general, I think that
dude.
people need to hear more about you and what you do, and behind the scenes as well, because that's why, not only just because you have the best software and the best prices, but it's great people behind the business, and
that's what I'm
that's why
talking about.
people like to support you. And that's just like lawn care. There's a lot of guys that can do what we do, but you buy from who you like. And just like I just had a fence, like literally a couple minutes ago, after 3 months of walking my one dog with a leash at 4 a.m. with a Glock in my one hand because my neighbor's got bears, I finally can let my dog out. I interviewed 3 fence guys, and all 3 of them were nice. The one guy was just nicer. The one guy just made me feel warm and fuzzy. And
same with the pad. That's the same story you were talking about with your garage pad.
So that
you're like, man, I got all these quotes. This guy was nice.
You got to get yourself out there more, in my professional opinion, so people can really understand, hey, what is Lawn Buddy? So when they see Lawn Buddy, they got to think of Steven,
Yeah,
they do.
I actually heard that a lot. Especially here in the last week. So ironically, normally the videos I do are like demo videos of like, here's the product. But what I think people really like is like hearing my story or seeing me do. So the one specifically is Spencer let me borrow his new mini skid.
How nice is that? We're working on getting one. We might have one in a month, and it's going to change our lives.
We'll show
how nice is that
how to drive it.
Yep, it's dope. But so that's another thing that makes us a little bit different is like I know the work you guys go through in the field, and so when I do work at my house, I do it because I'm like, I want to intimately know the industry.
It makes you feel good. Also, just
100%.
physically trying to kill yourself out there for 13 hours and snow and rain and whatever. When you get home all day, you're like, F this job. I don't want another yard. But when you get home, you're like, man,
He
like
doesn't say that.
it's
He
that
doesn't say
it's
that.
that boot camp feeling. Like I survived, and you're proud of yourself, you know?
You
Yeah.
might be working him a little too hard, Stephen.
I said I wasn't gonna pee in jugs. I'm peeing in jugs 4 times a day now
He
because
does it now, guys.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, yeah,
it's
he's
like
doing it now.
my bladder's
What?
getting shooken around like I'm dying. So now it's just I'm peeing in a jug all day long.
So what did you do with Steven's mini skid? Did I or Spencer's mini? Did I miss that?
Yeah, so I moved. I think Ken, when we talked, you were picking up rocks, and I was picking up 7 tons of dirt.
Yeah, yep. That
So
day I
we
did
did,
rocks all day by hand.
yeah. So our backyard we converted completely to a like I call it a micro regenerative farm, right? And so chickens, bees, garden, all that fun stuff. And so I've redone the landscaping a million different times, built an outdoor kitchen. But we have a Czech German Shepherd, which if you guys, it's like a mix between a Belgian Malinois and a Shepherd, which sounds really cool until you have a terrorist as a dog. And so he loves ripping up vegetables. And so I had to build really big raised beds. And so built 6 different raised beds, redid the entire zones of the outside, redid our irrigation. And Spencer took pity on me because he knew at that time I'd already moved 2 tons of dirt by
How
hand.
close are you to him?
Oh, he's like maybe 15 minutes from my house.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Cool.
so he
What's
came and
his
dropped it
address
off.
what's his address for our viewers?
Yeah. So he came and dropped it off, and man, that thing is so
Can
sweet.
you imagine? I always like to think, imagine a mini skid steer and you go back 100 years and all these guys are working and slaving. You're like, hold on, guys, you want me to dig that hole real quick? And they'll just be like, how amazing. Like I only have 3 acres in the woods here on the side of this mountain. And like, I can do so much stuff in my own property, but we're working the deal's not done yet. So we're not going to talk about it, but the motor in this thing is a Kubota diesel. So that's why when Spencer just left Bad Boys for Kubota, I was like, hey, this isn't like some Chinese cheap one. This thing's got like legitimate stuff. So this could be like badass, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're hoping to get that.
Yeah, when I was using the mini skid, so we have a slope kind of area in our backyard that's always like just drove me nuts. But it's always too hard to dig by hand because we're mostly clay out here. And I think I had that thing leveled in like 15 minutes.
Nice.
How hard was
several times, but
was the learning curve pretty quick? Like you could jump on it and pretty much get the hang of
yeah.
it?
I think within 15 minutes, I was like, all right, I got this. And then
the first time I got on one, I was sketched for about 5 minutes, and then it was like, all right, it's time to do some work.
I
here.
can't
Let's
wait to get one of those. It's going to be a life changer.
go.
I
Yeah.
only
for
busted
sure.
through the fence one time, and that was my fault. So
It was
And then
that
did you
was
just
that
turn it into a
track
gate?
one? Did it have tracks?
yeah, it's got tracks.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
saw his
you're gonna
pictures.
rip your yard up.
Kubota hooked him up, man. He's got like some awesome products, and Kubota's no joke. Like
That's a great.
I don't feel
sponsor
like
for
they
sure.
have any actual brand ambassadors. I've never really seen anybody officially, show them off.
Him and Blake Shelton, baby. Those are the
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, we've got a
It-
massive Kubota dealership here in Missoula, just down the road from us. I mean, they might be the biggest one in the state. They have got a ton of inventory on their lot.
Yeah.
So-
Quick story about Missoula. Actually, 2 things. One, Ken, you said earlier that your neighbors has bears. False. You have bears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I keep telling him it's only a matter of time.
Now that I have a fence, if I got to get up at 4 a.m. in pitch black, usually I'm walking my dog in one hand with his leash, and the other hand's got a 10 millimeter. So now it's between them and Jesus. I'm opening that door, and whatever happens, you better
Yeah.
be quicker than this bear. Hopefully the 4-foot chain link keeps him out, but yeah, literally I could hit a baseball to where this bear's at multiple times a week. And I haven't
No,
seen one
it's
yet.
been in his yard before.
I haven't
Ken
seen
sleeping
one
in there.
yet, but it's
We
like
both know that.
you
Steven.
want to see one, but you don't want to see one. It's kind of mixed. But
Yeah.
Steven,
Bears
I
don't
appreciate
like,
you.
property lines.
I appreciate
What's the other one about Missoula?
Oh, yeah. So one, the first lesson was the bears don't like property lines. Second lesson is I grew up in Wyoming, and a neat tie that I have to Missoula is they took pity on us poor country folk. And they used to send their Missoula Children's Theater all the way down to my little hometown of Cameron, Wyoming, to teach us how the fine art of plays. And so, thanks to the Missoula Children's Theater, I think, in my biased opinion, I was the best dog in the Wizard of Oz that has ever been produced.
Now, do you have any aspirations to come back home
awesome.
to Wyoming?
You need to ask me this question in December, and you'll know the answer.
Yeah.
What about okay, so we've mentioned this a bunch of times with some people and tried to get them up here, but you are, I mean, can we say this? You are coming up to visit us this summer, right?
Yep.
You are headed up here.
Yep, I'll be in Wyoming this weekend, and then the plan is sometime midsummer, swing up and harass you guys, and then make a trip up to Glacier. And
Nice. Make sure
you're-
if I can, I'd recommend
Yeah.
the Simply Orange bottles for peeing in because it's a wide mouth jug and it just makes life a little bit easier. It's like a no spill.
Bring an empty Simply
Trevor
Orange
gave me
bottle,
like a
Steven.
1% milk jug. I was like, what am I gonna do with this little thing, bro?
You point and shoot. You point and shoot.
Well, I think this has been a great episode. If you're looking for a CRM, you check out Lawn Buddy. Again, thank you to Green Frog Web Design for officially sponsoring us. We will launch our big giveaway in about a week or so, maybe 10 days, give or take. I think June 1st, whatever we're at right now. Lawn Buddy's giving away a year of Pro for free. There's going to be tons of cool stuff in that. And we will start dropping stuff as we get closer to the expo because we're going to have some Lawn Buddy merch and things to give away. And we're going to have something cool or maybe two things to give away. So make sure you follow along as we talk a little bit more about all our giveaways in the expo and things to come.
Maybe we'll do a fireside pod with Steven when he gets here too. So stay tuned for
sure.
that.
We're going to put him on weed whacker duty for sure.
Yeah, and he
Hope
could
it
get the
works.
bloodied up eye.
Yep, I'm gonna work. And you guys have inspired me from this conversation, and so I'm gonna spice up your giveaway a little bit. All right.
Oh,
All right.
let's go.
I'm going to provide 2 of the absolute best co-branded travel urinals that money can buy.
Oh,
Then will be Lawn Buddy Stripe Life Travel Urinal.
Nice.
I love this.
A portable pee bottle
Nice.
that I'll include in the giveaway.
Nice.
Yes.
It just keeps
That's
getting
worth it
better.
right there.
It keeps getting better.
That's
Yeah,
icing on
and
the
who knows,
cake.
maybe it'll turn into a permanent product that we can start slinging.
Now,
you
we
know?
also like to ask Steven.
I love that
before
idea,
we
Steven.
cut this one off. Who's your top 3 lawn care content makers? Go.
Ooh, top 3 lawn care content makers go. Well, I'm going to say I'm going to take all of Stripe Life and put it under one umbrella, right?
Okay,
Because
that's
Yes.
fair.
it's
Fair.
it's one entity with 3 personalities. You know what I'm saying?
Multi-country too.
Yeah. All
Yes.
you have
Beavis,
all of
Butthead, and
Nor-
Brad Pitt, right?
Say what?
I said Beavis, Butthead, and Brad Pitt, the 3 entities of Stripe Life.
Yeah, Stripe Life North America. You got to find someone
Yes.
down south, and you can say Stripe Life America.
Yeah, they just have a lot of rainforests.
Yeah, it's all right. There's lawns down there too. So I would say you guys. Obviously my dude Spencer, love him to death.
Shout out SP.
And then actually one of the ones that I really enjoy to watch. They're not really big whatsoever, but it's J&J Property Pros. It's a family owned, 2 sisters and a brother. They do some really, really fun content. They also like just do everything, I feel like.
Nice.
But yeah, and I mean we have a lot of folks that we love to work with, so it's hard to just pick 3. But if I had to pick 3 off the top of my head, that's where I'd
Love
put
it.
Nice. All right.
Okay.
Well, you guys heard it here. The best CRM available is Lawn Buddy. They've got all sorts of different plans. But the biggest thing that I wanted you to get from this show is that this CRM is built for Americans by Americans. If you're Canadian, you can still use it. But when you think of these other ones, you got one that's built by America for America, and it's the best prices. It's the best design. It is a no
Best customer service.
There's no reason to not use it. So, unless you're super pro Canadian, I would check them out. But wait do you see
And
it.
that's
And
at
again,
lawnbuddy dot or at or lawnbuddy.com
Buddy.
and then get Lawn Buddy on Instagram,
Yep.
right?
So at Get
Yeah.
Lawn Buddy on Instagram and social media, and then lawnbuddy.com.
And when we do our giveaways, see that's what's funny is we are known for giving away trucks and giving away mowers and all this
Bebop.
stuff. When we do these giveaways, it's only possible because of people like Stephen, because of these companies that get behind us and help us.
Yes.
So when you see our expo and we shut down that show, a big reason we can do that is because of Stephen and his company for always helping us. And another thing, make sure you get to that prayer breakfast this year. Your boy might be speaking, me or Trevor.
Yeah,
we
come and
might
have
even do
breakfast
that.
with us.
We're working on a little Backstreet Boys dance too. We might do a little dance, just to kick it off.
That'd be great.
But this
What?
has been a great episode. We're
Okay.
probably going to listen to it because now I've
Thanks,
been listening
Steven.
to my own podcast. But Behind the Stripe, out.